ditch system. We did some spraying on the Miller ditch. And this is kind of just over on 850 East, this ditch is. I guess I should have pulled the beacon up so I can show you exactly where this is, but just north of the Patoka River boat ramp.
Okay.
Miller ditch goes right, dumps into the Patoka River there, but the spraying we did here 4 or 5 years ago, it's got some cleanup we need to do. We went in and sprayed it. Some of the big trees are dead now. So what we'd like to do is go ahead. Those trees are causing some log jams as they're dying and falling in along the bank or even over the top of the bank. And so what we'd like to do and what we're asking for is for $15,000 to be transferred from the 25,000 to be transferred from the general drain improvement fund to the Miller ditch. So that's what we're asking for there, and that's for.
You haven't gotten any bids yet for the project.
No.
That's just, you're asking that, so.
That's
So we probably need to make that.
That's what we're asking for, just to make sure, there's enough in there.
You need to make a motion not to exceed or anything like that.
Yeah, probably so, yes.
So make a motion to transfer not to exceed 25.
I'll make that motion.
And I will second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then if you find out something changes or whatever, and you have to come back, if the bids come in at 28,000 or whatever, we'll come back and revisit it. Sound good?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, and then B, you got the form for solar submittal?
Yeah, it was brought to our attention that on these and I guess it's not necessarily solar, it's stormwater submittal approval. So and I guess solar comes up in what we have on the agenda there, because when a stormwater project is approved, we've had some requests, and I think they want it for their records. So for instance, let's say Gibson Solar, when they get that approved or approved contingent on, bonds or something like that, they're coming back to us and asking for that approval. So that has come up, and as you know, Lyle Maringer is doing those reviews. I talked to him about it. He said he told me some other counties use a form. And then that form, when the drainage board approves the project, they kind of fill out a form. That form is signed by the drainage board as well. And then that's kind of what they're looking for when they submit these plans and then eventually get approval. We've had a couple requests for those approvals, and I think they're wanting those, they're wanting some kind of certificate of approval for the records. So I reached out, I looked at some of these forms. Lyle had got me some samples of maybe what Ward County uses, I think. And I reached out to some other counties. I talked to Tippecanoe County surveyor, and they're set up with a ordinance very similar to ours, set up by Christopher Burke, where you have an ordinance and then technical standards as a separate document. So very, very similar. And I asked them, I was kind of thinking that the ultimate approval would be the drainage board minutes, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of ask Jason that. And it seems to me, after talking to Tippecanoe County surveyor, that they also just use their drainage board minutes. There's no extra form floating around. The drainage board minutes, after talking to him, are, I guess, superior to any kind of forms or anything anyway. Those are my words, but
So,
I'd recommend I put that on there if you guys wanted to consider a form
so is this just in addition to,
in addition to the minutes.
well, but I mean, because the drainage ordinance, for instance, with the solar farm or whatever, it has to go through the preliminary approvals, and then as the project finishes, you know, there are inspections from Lyle, and then everything, when it's all said and done, the commissioners sign off and approve that the specifications were all met and all that.
The drainage board approved, yeah.
Okay, so they just want additional documentation, basically?
It's kind of, that's the way I feel. I feel like it's just additional documentation that, after looking into it a little bit, I think it's probably unnecessary. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's noted in the minutes.
Yeah.
That the drainage boards accepted the closure of the drainage plan and all,
yeah.
why do we need redundancy? I mean,
There's
what,
just another paper out there floating around this, well, this done when we really need it, that's a lot.
yeah,
I think ultimately it'd go back to the minutes anyway. If somebody had a paper floating around, you'd want to go check the minutes.
Right.
So
I,
I didn't know. I wanted to bring it up to you guys. It was brought up to me. I wanted to see where if you guys wanted to consider that or.
I mean, if there's no legal requirement, and it really, I don't really see any need to make more paper, kill more trees. Okay, current projects, obviously, we got the
Yeah. Yeah, the Lillard project's going strong. Probably, guess we was probably out there, I was off, but did we make it out there Wednesday, Andrew?
Wednesday and Friday. We have pictures of both,
Okay,
so he's been out there Wednesday and Friday and, moving along, looking good,
Good.
so.
And then the tubes at Fort Branch, obviously, I talked to Scott. I think John Clark's moved equipment down there. Tri-State Fence was supposed to start on the temporary removal of the sewage treatment plant fencing and all. So it's getting started. And then completed stuff. We got the Claymire tree removal.
yeah, that was, I think Orville may have some pictures, wants to be able to show you here what we did there.
Was that the one that, out in the wetlands that they had to actually take the trees
Yeah.
off of the property,
Yeah.
right?
There's a couple before and afters, couple with the size of the trees on there back.
The Purdy ditch.
Oh, well, then the knack of being able to stand in the same spot, take a picture. As it did. Well, most of the time you do,
It becomes very helpful.
absolutely.
Any beaver problems out here or anything?
Not in this ditch.
No?
It's a little much, well, upstream, I take it back, we got something going on up there by Crawling. But not down in this area.
Dealing with them down where I work right now. They got a creek dammed up and got my lake levels about 3 feet above where they should be. Got a guy, I guess trapping season started a week ago Saturday, I think he was supposed to start.
Yeah, you can, for regular trapping it in, or it may start a little earlier than that, but the detrimental, they have a license, they can trap on year round.
Okay.
They have certain requirements and classes they have to go to, but just regular trapping season is in till.
Yeah.
First of
Can't think of the
February.
guy's name. I've got his card. But anyway,
We did have a report on some beavers just north of, 168. We had so last year, our nuisance trapper that we used, we were gonna have him go to the same area. And I was wondering, if, there was a private beaver trapper, you know what I'm talking about, or was that's
Yeah.
not Snake Run?
No,
that's
Muddy Fork.
Muddy Fork. And I didn't know if your guy, Larry, if you had, you know, if that guy is still trapping in there for a hobby trapper.
Wayne Murphy was going to come in here on me. But the guy that works for Brian Side called me and wanted to know if he could go across my ground, that there's actually some beaver up on Brian's side, 4 miles north of there. And he was going to have a friend come in and do some trapping there.
And he was gonna do that again this year.
Oh, yeah, did it, yeah, he's just now doing it.
Okay. We'll keep our nuisance trapper out of there then, so, there's no confusion.
On me, there's only one small one that they're about, 600 feet from 168 up through there. It's awful small. But they've been building on it.
Yeah.
There's 2 tractors. Side got tractors lined up. We'll try that.
So yeah, if you guys didn't hear that, there's a area, it works out pretty good. If you've got a hobby trapper, it doesn't cost you anything.
Mhm.
We'll just, let them handle that. And, we had another, beaver dam. You asked if we were dealing with beaver dams. Where was that bigger beaver dam at? That we had, just showed a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, it's the trip, lower end of the trip.
Yeah. But our nuisance trapper is, we've got him lined up to go in there, don't we?
Yes,
So,
Butts, I think it's the property name.
Y'all have wonderful day.
Eastkey Bridge, be south and west of that. Know where that's at.
all right.
Have a good one, guys.
Anything else?
That's all I can think of.
Andy?
Leaving out anything, Ken?
Just so entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.